I don't always have to hit, but think, I'm going to pull that knee up really high, I'm going to kick him, and a lot of times he may move anyway. That's why I want to try to push that foot as far in and back as I can, right? When I kick you, I want you to take a step back, right? See what I mean? I want to always think in my mind, I want to attach to his leg or step in and past him. So if he does move like that, I'm more likely to keep some form of an attachment. I didn't sacrifice anything for nothing. So again, it's here, I kick, and I come inside, right? And I'm here, and again, if he wants to throw punches with the other hand, that's great. You can trap with him and fight off the bridges. If not, and again, if he wants to fight into you, push you, pull him down, tripping, or if he moves back the other way, try to seize his leg or something. Because if he's moving back, the weight's going to come off the leg, and it's going to be easy for you to pick it up. So he does it to me. Drop your hand. When you come down, I'm already charging into him, okay? This is not, it's like my teacher explained to me, he used a squat jaw movement to give me this example. And that's, he used tie, right, with kicking. So it looks like this, right? And he's forcing into me, right? So the example he's giving me, he moved in, he got this attachment, and immediately he's driving into me. I don't have an option, right? I mean, yes, he's controlling both arms, you know, but in the leg. But look, if he doesn't try to move or pull his leg out, what's going to happen? He's going to fall. And that gives me the opportunity to take that movement and either make him fall or turn it into a combination, right? He steps out. Tossing down, right? So, again, he does it to me. Moves up high, and then look, he just, when you do this, don't push this way. Push into his hip, like this. When I do this, look, I want to push down here. If you do it like this, you'll roll him back, right? But much harder to catch stuff. I want him to feel like he's doing this. And if I can get him to lock his hip, right, I push into it, and or he pushes into me, right, and I get my hip locked, right, my hips roll forward, and I can't send any of the weight down in my leg. It's real easy for him to topple me. So you got to feel this when you're doing it, right? I'm pushing down, or if I push back, push down, and try to get him to lock out his body or have to move it. Move me. Do it again. And I may do it enough. Do it again. It goes both ways, right? He needs to be able to move me, but he also, at the same time, he has to be ready to do a combination or be able to deal with the situation, right? It's no different than me doing a vertical kick and this punch and expecting that I'm just going to be able to get this attachment and throw without maybe him punching off the other hand or moving or I mean, you have to do something else, right? And that's the way you want to think. If I don't have the opportunity to fully get that grip for that throw, I'm going to punch you. You know, and then maybe if I do that 2 or 3 times, we soften him up, and then it's easier for me to execute what I want. So let's look at another one. So we're going to do this same, we're going to do, we kick with our shin again, but we're going to go to the thigh this time. And again, look, there's no reason to do this. Right? If I do this, it's really easy for him to punch me in the head. The trade-off for the little bit of additional power that I may get out of it is not worth it to me. And again, I'm thinking striking and grappling. So when I do this shin kick, again, I'm going to fall forward and down and in. So I take over his space, and then this arm here, I'm either going to go for the neck control or the upper body of the shoulder control. I can even do the legs. So, but here, right, again, like I said earlier, I don't need to get here. I can do this from all 3 positions, and that's the way you need to think. I'm here, and I do this kick. Boom, and I fall in. Right, and right away, my arm is up here. I can turn this into around his neck. If I want to do this as a swinging punch, I could also, which works really great. You can come this way, hit him, and then try to wrap him up. But look, this foot's forward, kick and I land. This foot's forward, kick and I land. Both feet are like this, I kick and I land. You have to think like that. The more that you make things mechanical and you did 2 or 3 things and I gotta go back to here again, don't think like that. It needs to flow. It needs to flow. Something, one thing's going on and something else happens. Don't try to revert back to that stuff. It's even that kind of competing. I'm against. Like when I used to take people to compete in side-out, some fought like this, some fought like that, some fought like this, and nobody ever had a power side forward that we always had to revert to. You don't want to think like that. As I said in the other video, my Sifu, he has a power side that he likes to use, but his strategy is based off, he doesn't care if you're standing like that, if this foot's forward and that foot's forward. He has things to address it. He has techniques for offense and for counter. That is a great way to go, but also not having a dominant side. And if you can merge those two ideas together, you have a really versatile and solid entering strategy. So we're here, and the shin kick's going to come in, and I'm going to land. And again, I'm up on him like this, or the hand's going to come like this. And if you think like this, if he moves that way, just catch him here, right? Or if he wants to move forward, and I'll just go with him, right? Or he tries to pull away and go the other way. Then that's the kind of stuff you want to practice with a partner. Use the short range kick and strike to get an attachment, and then play scenarios with your partner. That is a better use of the partner than doing 20 of the same thing. Meaning, yes, I'm doing the same thing, I'm initiating the same way, right? But let the partner experiment, and that's going to help you to develop your combos and your counters, and it's going to help them to be able to dissolve or neutralize or develop a counter off of your action. And then you let it flow, and that will really help a lot. Yeah, sometimes you need to drill mechanical movements, but again, we don't want to do that to the point to where everything is just, again, mechanical. So he does it to me, he doesn't drop. Remember, the hands are up, always up. When you think about it in Tai Chi, what is this guy doing? I'm using the forearm and elbow. So if you think like in Tai Chi, one of the methods is the elbow, right? And the shoulder. So when I do these functional movements, if you think like that, I'm muscling him with these actions, or these actions. It's the same thing. I'm using those things to destabilize and break him down. He does it to me. Mm-hmm. And I know it seems kind of odd, but I'm using him like a buffer. Like the thing that I explained a while ago about my Sifu, and him utilizing that movement to put the person under stress to get them to either try to counter that movement or try to move to get out of it. And we're using the same thing. If you think you're like a revolving door in a sense, right? I do this move and I get here and I start pushing and he changes his direction. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so if I'm here and I did this and he moves a different way, can I stay with this guy and turn it into something else? That type of role play is so much more advantageous to somebody who wants to learn striking grappling. Then again, me and Jonathan just sit here and we do a combo. Now, the next video is going to be over combinations, right? Kicks and punches to setups, and then when we do the other videos, we'll show those attached to throws. I'm just trying to get you to understand that when I do these movements, it's not so cookie cutter. And if I can make the sacrifice to do a kick or a strike to get an attachment to him, it's not just an attachment to this, it's an attachment to his whole body, right? And I need to be able to feel this, right? However he wants to move, I need to be able to move with him. It's not just the arms. If I really truly want to grapple him. Let's look at another one. This is a shin kick to the inside of the thigh. So with this one again, I don't need my leg back here to do this. Okay? I can do it from here, easily. And if you think like that, that hurts. Trust me. And can you generate power without moving? Right? Do you really need to use all this momentum to make this kick work? And then think about how big it is. Right? But can you kick? And look, I'm right there on him again. I can hit him, elbow him, forearm him, but I got here, and I'm gonna try to break it. And by doing this, he's going to do something. If he doesn't, I'm gonna roll him over. I just keep going. That probably knee sees him or something on him. Does it to me? Keep your hands up. It's really, really important to keep your hands up. Always train like that. At the same time, it's good to train like this. Your hands down. I should be able to kick in right now. And I shouldn't have any extra. I don't have to do a bunch of crazy shit. The same thing with the striking. Maybe I should be able to do this from here. If you've ever seen any fundamental street fights, you'll see this happen a lot. Your hands are down, and then the swings start coming in. It's good to practice that. But I'm saying it's not the most advantageous for you to do with your hands down. You want to keep them up. This is non-threatening looking, with my hands here, or even with my hand like, hey man, I don't want no shit. You know, or hey, I don't want any problems, man. You know, this is fine, it doesn't look threatening. So when I start doing it like this and buckling up, and you know, or I take on some kind of crazy pose or something, and then the guy's like, oh, this guy's crazy, or he does something, and maybe he does something. You don't want to use something like that that can be used against you as a strategy. So he does the move on me. Kick. So, kick and go inside. Oh, he's down like this. So that when I kick him, I'm going to move in, right? If he moves, I don't care. Or if I'm here and he tries to go punch at me, right? I'll block it, or he punches off the other hand. You're just moving here, right? When you do the sensitivity training stuff we have, it's something like push-ins or something like Wing Chun's Chi Sao. We have similar things that we do that emphasize striking or controlling or grappling with a person, all standing up. If you conclude those with this stuff, it makes it, again, really good. The average dude on the street does not want you up in his face. The average dude on the street is not going to kick you. And these kicks, it's like when I was like 17, and I went to this dance club, right? I don't know, maybe I was 18 or something like that. And at the end of the night, there was some guy with his girlfriend and this other guy, and they're talking shit to each other, and the guy, this is back in the 80s, right? And so Taekwondo is really popular. People go, yeah, I know Taekwondo, right? Like today, they go, yeah, I know BJJ or MMA, right? It's the same concept. So this guy does a roundhouse kick on the guy like this, and the other guy grabs it and just knocks him on the ground, and then just proceeds to beat on him. And there's time and place for everything. Those type of kicks. If you look at a lot of competitions even, they'll say you can't catch the leg, right? Or you can't kick the leg and you can't catch the leg because it's unsafe for their competition. But if that's the way you think in your mind, then you go out on the street, the guy on the street doesn't care about that. And you throw this big, long, telegraphing kick, and he catches it and he slams your head on the asphalt with concrete, it's not usable. So with these kind of kicks, he's not going to grab it. He can't. Inside my neck. See, I don't want him to do that. What is he doing? He's trying to assess the space that he needs so that he can utilize enough momentum in which to kick me. And also, he's trying to get the trajectory down. To me, bring the leg straight up and turn it like this, like an upside down J. And look, from here, and look, I'll even do it from here. Doing this close. it doesn't have to like break his leg, right? What it needs to do is to be able to move him or to get him to feel this to want to step so that I can move forward with my attack. That's kind of weak. Yeah, better. Now, if you think in your mind, don't think kick. I mean, I can kick him and cause pain, but think kick to bounce the leg, right? We have a move that's called palm, right, or expanding, right? It's an expanding move. In Wing Chun, in Chong Kyu, you do this move, and in Wing Chun, this is palm. In Tai Chi, this is palm. The same thing in Squat, we also have palm. So when I do this, it's more, don't make me look like I've got magic skills, man. I'm kicking in such a way that I push the leg. A lot of times, why would I do that? Like, even if I'm here in a minute, I've got this close, then it's this kind of stuff, right? I'll kick the leg out of the way to get something else. Again, it's not all about being always physical and trying to overpower the other person with speed and with power. And it's not on the other side over here where you're always trying to borrow something or utilize them in such a way. And but it's a merger of those two. Can I do a little explosive movement like that to get him to move so that when he's moving, I can now borrow his energy? Advance. 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 Okay. Yes. Okay, so there's different, the kicks themselves, like I said, that was pretty much it, right? There are sweeps and things like that, but it's the different energies that I can apply with that particular kick. Like, if we look again at the shin kick, like I said, there are like whipping actions where I can come through. There are ones where I just drive mass and I'm into something. So different ways to use the same tool. Okay, we're going to look at our front kick. And again, when you do this front kick, if you can't do this stuff, and you have to lean back even to get the leg up here, then you definitely don't want to be kicking up here. If a lot of people don't have that type of flexibility, but if you can put the knee up here to your collarbone or under your collarbone, I do it in these, and I don't want to split my pants. But when I do this kick, I want to think I'm bringing it up, and then I'm either going to hammer it down, I'm going to drive in with it, but I've got to lift it up, and I don't want to lean back. If he goes to kick me and he leans back with a front kick, it's real easy to attach to the leg. The same thing with a push kick. I don't lean away when I do a push kick. When I do a push kick, I go this way. You see how I'm leaning into this action? I'm just pushing off of me. The same thing in the leg. I can lean away, but an example. I mean, I don't know, he's going to get a shot up on me, and I lean back to do it. Okay, cool. But I'm not going to intentionally lean back to do an offensive action, is what I'm getting at. The same with the front kick, the push kick, with a chin kick, with a side kick. I'm not going to lean away when I'm doing the movement offensively because I'm trying to do short to mid-range striking grappling. I'm not trying to be a long-range kickboxer. So I want to be able to utilize my time to my benefit because my main focus is on me being able to attach and throw. The kicks and the strikes are to break you down, to get me close, or to help me to get the right attachment that I need to execute my throws. And then, of course, my follow-on actions. So the front kick, when you kick, the leg is going to come, you want it to come down on the either or side and as far in as you can. If you have your hands up like this, you can use these as a pressing action, or you can roll up one arm to the other, right? So I'm here again. I don't need to make any additional steps. I'm just going to pick the leg directly up. I'll do it from here. The same thing. Right? Okay? So here, hands are up, hey man, don't mess with me, kick, and then look, I'm gonna lead in. He moved, but I stayed with it, and I got my attachment. From here, I'll keep pushing, he wants to punch with the other hand, or whatever, you come in and hit the dude, pump him with a couple of punches, and then move him around more and jump him on the ground. He tries me, he does the kick on me. See what he did? What did he do? What did you do? he coming up.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, don't do that, right? Because that will alert the person, and it's like you're giving them that little split second to evade you. If you can just make breathe, right, and just do your move. Don't worry about the other person. I mean, we're not doing this stuff really hard, and we don't really need gloves on and shin guards and chest guards and nut guards and all of that stuff for this. It's just functional practice. So from here, right? I'm here, this thing is forward, and I should just be able to kick. And if I have to, I'll follow and use the footwork we've been working on, right? Come here, kick. I just did that switching stance to get me inside, right? I couldn't really go further this way. I was getting bound up, so I switched up, and now I'm able to strike again or to attach to the throw. If you've got both hands up, right? So think one is going to control his bridge, the bridge is closest to you, and one is going to make an execute a strike. So it's like you're doing a control or a trap. I don't like to use the word trap, I like to use the word control. Good, right? So it's this kick, and right here, right? And look, I can just pump him with 2, 3 more. If he throws a punch with the other hand, very easy to switch that stuff up and go for the over the arm, under the arm, around the head, or around the waist. That's it to me. All right. Here, kick. I'm right in, right? I'm ready to do my thing. I'm not leaning away. Now, think about it. If I would have done this and I leaned away, and then I had to come back down and forward, that little bit of time will make all the difference in the world if you're really able to get that attachment. Remember, I'm just doing this to kind of stop him a little bit, right? I get the control, and then from here, I'd like to be closer, but at least I have a hand on him. Let's look at a couple more pieces, and then a cross kick. So in Chongqi Tai Chi, we utilize a cross kick. We utilize a cross kick also in our squat jump. The benefit of a cross kick versus a front kick is that when I do the cross kick, my groin is somewhat covered. See? If I do a front kick, my groin is more exposed. So from here, again, whether this foot's forward, or this foot's forward, or the feet are like this, I should be, and look, I bring it up, and these aren't necessarily swinging actions, which is, if I do this shin kick down here, I can easily swing my leg into this, right? If I use the flat of my foot, I would kind of bend the knee and then exert it, but I can also make it a swing. But most of what I'm doing is I'm releasing the leg and I'm dropping the mass, right? I'm dropping the mass. Sorry. And I'm not trying to cripple Jonathan there. I'm not trying to make this look cool or I'm trying to impress anybody. It's just these kicks hurt. And it's, if you think about it, I'm dropping my weight into the kick. It's not me just doing this with the leg muscles. I'm literally putting as much of my body's mass weight into that kick when I do it.
The back leg, right?
It can be the back leg, the front leg, or either leg. That's all right. So look, the higher he gets that knee, when he swings it through, the more that he can put his weight into it. And look, if he's upright or he's, we'll say, forward in tension, he's more able to put that weight in.